argument, evaluation, and presenting a well-argued cases. We have been given extensive practice in using the language which is central to the process of presenting and evaluating reasoning. Now, let us take a look at how to write a much better argued responses. In order to present a well-argued case and to respond to the argument, first, we have to analyze the context carefully. We have to understand what is the context about and what are they arguing. Second, we have to be alert for the unclear and missing point in their argument and ask the question if necessary. Third, evaluate an argument according to the question which should be asked. After a careful consideration, we need to carefully and clearly state each piece of the argument. So, let us start with the example and see how we can respond to this reasoning. The police force should ban their policy from driving at high speed in pursuit of young joyriders who steal cars. Many deaths, both of joyriders and innocent bystanders, have occurred as the result of the chases. Police say that they have policies which aim to prevent danger to the public during the chase, while requiring police to abandon the chase when the speeds become too high for safety. But the excitement of the chase inevitably make the police drivers forget the policy and disregard public safety. No stolen car is worth a human life. In order to respond to this argument, you need to understand the full context, what it is arguing for, its reasoning, its assumptions, and so on, and you need to ask the right question about it. And here are the possible questions. What if they are not pursued by police? And what if they are pursued by police? If they are not pursued by police, they try dangerously, which result in risking harm to themselves and others. And if they are pursued by police, the same thing would still happen. So, this means that the joyrider steal car and injure themselves and also the bystander as a result of their reckless driving. Whether they are pursued by police or not, so whatever is done, there will be a serious risk. It would help if we had some reliable figure about joyriding, in particular how many and what sort of accidents occur when these drivers are not pursued, and what comparable figures when they are not pursued. Another possible question is, what should replace present policy and practice? One more thing, it is too easy to blame the police for the present problems. Why not blame the doctor for the injured people who die in healthcare? The real question is, would we be worse off without their imperfect effort? And what should be done about the joyrider? In short, if you ask the right question, you may see the argument is quite reasonable, or you may see the problem with a piece which otherwise look quite powerful. But remember, it is important to apply the thinking map of your own argument too. Moreover, if you are going to evaluate reasoning, you need to judge whether the inferences are good ones. And to do this, besides using the appropriate standards, you need to look carefully for implicit assumptions, which is reasonable to attribute to the argument. And you need to ask whether there are other relevant considerations which need to be taken into account. Besides, if you are going to judge inferences, you need to ask the below questions. Does the reasoning include some important assumptions? Does the reasoning support its conclusion? Are there other relevant considerations and arguments which strengthen or weaken in the case? What is your overall judgment? Are the reasons acceptable? And are the inferences deductively valid? Is the case proved beyond reasonable doubt? Is the case shown to be more likely than not on the balance of probability? Is the argument reasonable? All of these questions should be taken into consideration if you are going to judge inferences skillfully.
So let's move on to part 6, summarize. After finish of part of the unit, we could say that evaluative reason is the process of synthesizing the answer to low and to mid levels evaluation question into defensible judgment that directly answer the case of evaluation question. And the second is assumption can be either explicit, mean that directly state, or implicit, mean that not directly state but implies. So when you identify someone assumption, don't forget look for both kinds. And finally, here are some tips to evaluate reasoning skillfully. One is use the appropriate standard, and second, look carefully for implicit assumption, reasonable attribute, and third is answer whether there are other relevant consideration, and finally is make sense of the context. What is threat or strengthen reason if assumptions are concerned. Finally, thank you for watching. If there are any questions, don't forget to drop your question below. Thank you.